Betty White spent 7 years pretending she didn't know her co-star couldn't stand her. Behind the cheesecake and the laughter, the Golden Girls was keeping secrets that would make even Blanche blush. You think you know these 4 women who ruled Saturday nights in the 1980s, but the truth about what happened behind those Miami doors might surprise you. Number 15. Blanche's signature Southern drawl. Rue McClanahan almost lost her accent before the show even started, when pilot director Jay Sandrich told her to drop the Southern voice and just speak normally. Rue knew something was wrong. The script called for someone more Southern than Blanche Dubois, but here was her director telling her to sound like she was from Oklahoma. She followed orders for the pilot, but when new directors came in for the series, they wanted exactly what she'd done at her audition. So Rue channeled her cousin Pearl, a woman from southern Oklahoma who'd invented her own aristocratic accent from scratch. That manufactured drawl became Blanche's signature. Without it, she would have been just another flirty roommate. With it, she became the South's answer to sexual liberation before anyone even had a name for it. Number 14. The impossible mother-daughter age gap. Estelle Getty was younger than the woman who played her daughter. At 62, Getty was actually a year younger than Bea Arthur, who was 63 when the show started. Every morning, the makeup team spent nearly an hour aging Getty with latex wigs and heavy foundation to transform her into 80-something Sophia. Then, Getty made their job harder. Between seasons 1 and 2, she got a facelift. Compare Sophia in the pilot to later episodes, and you can actually see the difference. Early Sophia looks appropriately weathered. Later Sophia has that spa weekend glow hiding under all those prosthetics. Number 13. That famous theme song wasn't written for the show. Andrew Gold wrote and recorded Thank You for Being a Friend in 1978, and it climbed to number 25 on the Billboard Hot 100. 7 years later, Cynthia Fee re-recorded it for the Golden Girls, turning a moderate pop hit into television's ultimate friendship anthem. Gold would later collect multiple BMI awards as his song became the soundtrack to birthday parties, karaoke nights, and yes, even funerals. The song transformed into something bigger than anyone imagined, pure friendship gold wrapped in melody. Number 12. This wasn't their first time sharing a kitchen. These women already knew each other's timing. Bea Arthur and Rue McClanahan had spent 6 years together on Maude from 1972 to 1978. Arthur played the outspoken Maude Findlay, while Rue played her sweet best friend Vivian. Meanwhile, Rue and Betty had worked together on Mama's Family in the early 80s. By the time they gathered in that Miami kitchen, they weren't strangers learning each other's rhythms. They were a comedy team reuniting. Number 11. Betty and Rue completely swapped their original roles. Betty White was cast as Blanche. Rue McClanahan was cast as Rose. It made perfect sense on paper. Betty had spent years playing Sue Ann Nivens on The Mary Tyler Moore Show, a man-hungry schemer. Rue had played sweet, naive Vivian on Maude. The actresses said absolutely not. They didn't want to repeat themselves. Director Jay Sandrich suggested they swap, and the moment they read it that way, everything clicked. That one switch didn't just tweak the show, it defined it. Number 10. A throwaway sketch became television history. In 1984, actresses Selma Diamond and Doris Roberts performed a comedy bit where Diamond misheard Miami Vice as Miami Nice and joked about older women in Miami. NBC executive Warren Littlefield was watching and thought, wait, that's actually brilliant. He tracked down producers Tony Thomas and Paul Younger-Witt, who brought in Susan Harris to develop it. A parody sketch about mishearing a cop show's title became one of the most successful sitcoms ever made. Number 9. The Golden Girl, who lasted exactly 1 episode. Before Sophia moved in permanently, there was Coco, a gay cook played by Charles Levin, who appeared in the pilot and then vanished. Estelle Getty's Sophia was supposed to be a minor character, just Dorothy's mother dropping by occasionally. But Getty crushed her pilot performance so hard that producers immediately promoted her to series regular. Someone had to go. The producers chose between witty banter with a spatula and a Sicilian woman with a purse full of one-liners. Coco never got a farewell. He just disappeared. Number 8. Bea Arthur ended the show while it was still golden. The the Golden Girls didn't end because of ratings or network pressure. After 7 seasons, Bea Arthur decided to leave while the show was still beloved. She'd rather exit on top than watch it slowly decline. Her castmates wanted to continue, but without Dorothy's sarcasm anchoring the kitchen table, the chemistry collapsed. NBC tried the Golden Palace with the remaining 3, but audiences noticed immediately. Arthur knew the truth about show business. Dessert doesn't stay sweet forever. Number 7. That iconic kitchen was a hand-me-down. The kitchen where they shared every crisis and cheesecake wasn't built for the Golden Girls. It came from a failed sitcom called It Takes Two that lasted 1 season in 1982. 3 years later, with fresh paint and new occupants, that recycled set became the emotional headquarters of the show. Nearly every major conversation happened around that table. A set built for a show nobody remembers became the backdrop for television history. Number 6. Dorothy's marriage timeline was mathematically impossible. Dorothy constantly reminded everyone she was married to Stan for 38 years after their shotgun wedding. But her kids, Michael and Kate, were clearly in their 20s or early 30s. Unless Dorothy spent 15 years married before having children, the math doesn't work. The writers didn't care about timeline continuity. They cared about what sounded funnier. If 38 years got a bigger laugh than 20-something years, that's what Dorothy said. Number 5. Rue negotiated to keep Blanche's entire wardrobe. Every sequined gown, silk robe, and leopard print dress you saw Blanche wear, Rue McClanahan took home. She'd negotiated a clause letting her keep the costumes after filming Wrapped. Over 7 seasons, she built a collection of perfectly Blanche outfits. After Rue passed in 2010, her estate auctioned pieces to fans who paid thousands for sitcom history. A feathered nightgown. Someone's now wearing television heritage to bed. Number 4. The Golden Girls created an entire sitcom universe. When the original ended, the Golden Palace continued with Rose, Blanche, and Sophia running a hotel. But the real universe existed during the original run with Empty Nest and Nurses, 2 shows set in the same Miami world. Characters crossed over constantly. NBC even created Hurricane Saturday, a 3-show storm storyline connecting all the series. For years, Saturday nights were wall-to-wall Miami sitcoms sharing one universe. Number 3, Bea Arthur faked eating cheesecake for 7 years. On screen, every crisis happened over cheesecake at the kitchen table. Off screen, Bea Arthur couldn't stand it. The baker who supplied the show remembers her taking exactly 1 real bite across 7 seasons. She'd move her fork around while cameras rolled, pretending to enjoy dessert she wanted nothing to do with. Betty White and Rue McClanahan had no such problems, happily indulging between takes. Number 2, Quentin Tarantino's Elvis cameo helped fund Reservoir Dogs. In 1988, an unknown Tarantino appeared as an Elvis impersonator during Sophia's wedding episode. Decked in a white blazer with full sideburns, he was barely visible in the background. Those tiny residual checks from that appearance and other bit parts kept him financially afloat while writing Reservoir Dogs. A background Elvis gig on The Golden Girls helped launch the career that changed independent cinema. Number 1, Bea Arthur and Betty White's professional tension. Betty White admitted in 2011 that Bea Arthur was not that fond of her. Bea's son later explained his mother came from serious Broadway training, while Betty came from improvisational television comedy. Betty's habit of chatting with the studio audience between takes drove Bea crazy. She felt it broke professional focus. They weren't friends, but they didn't need to be. For 7 seasons, they showed up, hit their marks, and made television magic. Sometimes the best chemistry comes from 2 professionals who understand the assignment, even if they're not having lunch together. Behind all that Miami sunshine and cheesecake, the oft Golden Girls was keeping secrets worth knowing. 4 women over 50 didn't just rule primetime television. They did it while navigating personality clashes, impossible timelines, and one actress spending 7 years pretending to eat dessert she hated. That's what made them golden.